Oh, all right. What I never know is where the fucking link is. I start recording. Oh. Fuck, I never know where the link is. Live. Is that today? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so get share the link. Okay. Oh, shit. No one was on for that. Okay, so that goes there. Oh, yay, we are. Okay, cool. I just wolfed down a little snack here. I hope you guys were on for that lovely little morning belch. Okay, I'm ready. All right, thanks, guys. Hand pink waving. All right, guys. All right, so you got to do the disclaimer thing, right? I know, but actually, some people have had trouble with it, so I'm a little loose with that. Oh shit, we got the camera's not on. Right? I think, right? Oh, fuck. Oh, give me a second here. Is the video capture on? Yeah, it is. Oh fuck. Let's take that off. Uh-oh, something up with my video. Give me a second, guys. This is an unbelievable ordeal to try and coordinate. Give me 1 second here. Let me see if I can get the video to work. Okay, that is it. That is it. That's right. Son of a bitch. Why is that not? Give me a second. Why is that not? There we go. Okay. All right. Well, now I got the fucking camera all back. That's backwards. Hello. Come on over here. Too low. I want to show you guys the killer TDU bling hat that I got now. But I'm not sure I've got this. Oh shit, you'd be looking up at my chin all the whole time. Let's get this. This camera. Maybe we fucking bail on the camera. No, that's great. You got my. Can you tell I'm new to the camera stuff? Any better? Oh, fuck, maybe we'll just bail on that until I get it figured out. It was perfect this morning. Oh, you guys can see my. I got that killer TDU neon sign. I may just. Fuck. Let me just bail on the camera. Yeah, let's see if I do that. You guys get. Is that any better? Is that better? I can't tell if that's better. What a shit show. Well, I'm going to get better at this, I promise. I'm just not used to it. I see video and I hear your video, but okay, good. All right. Well, it looks to me like all you're seeing is my chin. I don't know why this camera is supposed to be really cool. It's supposed to have AI in it. What doesn't have AI in it? It's supposed to follow me. It's supposed to follow my head. Well, that's good. You get a look at my mouth. That's great. Son of a bitch. Probably better not to try and do this on the floor. Okay, so let's. Fuck, I don't know what I've got wrong there. All right, maybe we'll get rid of that. Give that a second. Let's see, is that any better? I don't know why the camera. All right, let's bail on video for the day. I have a feeling that this is fucking us up here. So we're not focused on what we're here to do, which is look at some of your TA. So there is like a 30-second lag on this. So I'll be 30 seconds ahead of you. I'm going to kill the camera until sound is really crappy. Okay, let's check. It's too hot. How about that? Check. That looks better. That looks better. Now, I think I have killed the video. So in a minute, that's going to catch up to us. So what we should be seeing is just this right here. All right, we'll get better at it. Okay, good. All right, enough fucking with the camera. Okay, so there's off. Okay, all right, guys, I'll get that better next time. I don't know what the hell is happening there. Okay, so the first one up from you guys, let me get to the top of the list here. So one, great to see all the contributions here. I appreciate that, guys. I know we've been off the live streams for a little bit as we transitioned over to a lot of new things happening. So let's start here, and you guys know the drill. So what I have always done with these in the past. So the goal is to, as I've said before, and you guys remember me saying this a lot, I'm trying to teach it back to you. So it's not about me telling, okay, well, which a lot of people do on these live streams. It's, okay, buy it here, sell it here. That's never what I'm trying to do. We don't really do that within the Discord or, within the membership. It's not a buy it here, sell it here kind of a setup. It's, okay, let's use these tools. Maybe we can identify some areas of interest. And with that, you see if we can construct, some trades that are setting up. But first, let's see how you guys are dealing with I think right in the way. How we're dealing with just the approach to the technical analysis. Here, my blingy hat may be more trouble over here because of that mic. Okay, is the sound better, guys? Does that sound better? You need to turn down the gain. Okay, so too much gain. Okay, is that better? Better. How about that? James telling me to turn down the game. Better? It still kind of looks like it's getting hot. Why is that so hot? Better. That looks better. James, better? Back away from your mic. How about that? Yeah, way better. Okay, good. All right, let me get to actual business here. So what we should be looking at here, now my video is out of it, but we should be looking at Link. All right, so this was the first request from... Who was this? From Steel Swarm. Looking at Link. Well, Link, if you just brought it up here right now, you wouldn't say, oh my God, I got to jump all over this. But you can see that we're ranging here. Now I'm in arithmetic, and I'm on Binance here, so that's what he requested. Given that range, seems like you would at least want to look at it in hang on. You guys would not believe what I have going on in my house today. All right, we're gonna get there. Okay, so up we go, down. Now, what's interesting about this one is if we use the secondary pivot, you can see we're basing right here along the golden zone. But the secondary pivot, so my view would be that this is too much a 5. Jesus Christ, hang on. Got workers in the house. My dogs are getting groomed. I've got a dog groomer in here. Of all the days. So, nice looking 5, right? So 3, and then we base. So coming down here again, let's try and simplify if we can. Okay, so that would have been ideal, but now we're just going sideways. So I don't know that there's any particular advantage to trying to dig out a count down here. As I look at this, I would just go, okay, we're basing, and we're between the 50 and the golden zone. Now we're holding right here at a high volume node. I hope my dogs are not hearing all that. Now that's a daily. So your first thought would be, okay, well, if crypto is going to have a bull run, heavy emphasis on if, crypto, right? And I make the distinction between Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the rest of the alts. if we're going to have a bull run, well, Link would likely participate in that, and you'd be anticipating that there would be some sort of a push out of here. Now, there's the look at it from an Elliott perspective, which is, okay, if it's a completed 5, we'd want to see it come down to a 50. Again, doesn't mean it has to, right? These are just, let's put a full measure move on there. It's not a requirement. It's not like, oh, well, shit, if it doesn't get to the 50 of the golden zone, I'm definitely not buying it. That's never the idea. It's, okay, well, these are guidelines of where the market tends to retrace. Now, if I take it out of log scale, well, certainly we could qualify it as a 2. But if we're looking here, you've got to pick one and say, okay, well, if I'm given that range, and kind of a guideline is, so why are we pumping today? Well, that's a good question, right? So when you say that crypto Kaiser, well, what's Bitcoin doing? Right? Would you call that a pump in Bitcoin, or are you talking about the traditional assets? What is Bitcoin doing? I mean, I wouldn't call it a rip, but the other markets are ripping because it's, not to be a conspiracy theorist, right? But did something change overnight, right? Change in Fed policy? No, right? So what's happening, right? It's just market is, a lot of manipulation happens in the market. So after that big sell-off yesterday, everybody thinks, oh, well, God, it's just going to keep going. And what do? We rip higher because there's an opportunity for whales, institutions, call them what you will, right? To manipulate the market or to drive the market to their benefit. So after yesterday, all the media, everybody's scared to death. Oh my God, the market, look what happened today. And the Fed is going to continue raising rates, bank failures. That creates emotion in the marketplace, right? So the herd is thinking, well, shit, I got to get out of stocks and get over to bonds. And then we rip roar today. And now are they thinking, oh shit, I should have just stayed in stocks. Look how we're coming all back today. That's a lot of it, because certainly it's not fundamental. There was no change in interest rate policy overnight. Now, that's my view. Call me a conspiracy theorist, but I've just seen so much of this. Well, let's get to the chart at hand here, and I'll come back to that crypto Kaiser if we go over and look at the S&P. It would be reasonable here. What have I got below? To just kind of evaluate this as you're not really getting much here, other than you're seeing the rotation. And so this is an RSI and a Bollinger Band. So when we get up here, we're outside of 2 standard deviations, below 2 standard deviations, above standard. So we're just in rotation as let's zoom in there. Let's go to a 4. So there's so many different ways to trade. In many respects, what we're teaching is all oriented towards longer term trading, because there's an advantage if you're applying Elliott wave. It's infinitely more effective at 60 minutes or above. It just is. There's 30 years of doing this. It's just really at a minimum. Can you use it? Right? I get charts at 5 minute, 1 minute, all the time. People sending stuff to me. It's just more predictable if you slow the whole thing down and you're using larger time frames. So I always tell people 60 minutes and above, I'm going to use Elliott. If I'm below 30 minutes, 15 minutes, I'm going to approach the market a little bit differently. So here, is there an Elliott count here? And that's the other thing, right, which you guys have heard me say before. It's not always there. Now, can you count it, right? A skilled Elliottician, guys, many of you guys, certainly my senseis, they can all count this. But it's almost more an academic exercise. Is there really anything here to work with? I'd propose no. There's nothing here to do other than work off the assumption that what's happening here is accumulation. That's it, right? That's the only thing you can say definitively. It looks like algos are breaking on both sides. Right? 786, right? And there's likely an algo tied to that, right? We don't have the same conviction we do at a golden zone right here. It's probably pretty good right here. Jesus Christ, look at that. Right, half the time you spot them, right? You look at this and you say, okay, all right, so here, if I get this right on it, 50, that's likely a front run on that target. So we know the algo's in here. We don't have to wonder about it. Looks like there's another one here. So a lot of times what you're doing is saying, okay, where's Waldo? Right? I mean, remember, it's not 618 golden zone, right to target. Then we do it again. Right? You see the repetition here, how it just does it again? Right? Now, this is a little front run. It could likely ran into the supply zone there. But that's close enough to where I know that's an algo that's participating here. But then, look, here we get a failure. So it's not like, oh, shit, man, I take every one of these. You're going to get stopped out in some of them. There's no question about it, right? One side has to break, right? So here's a perfect 50. Oh, doesn't get there. Right, now that's a tell. It's much like an A-B or a 1-2 because there's no pivot in the market. Excuse me. There's no pivot in the market that we can't clearly identify that there are going to be stops here. Right? Everybody on the planet that is looking at Link knows that there's stops there. So when we can't go get them, that's telling you that sellers are too strong here because it's an obvious play. And if whales, call them what you will, right, can push the market up here enough, they're going to do a liquidity grab, which they may have done right here because there were stops right here. So here's the grab for liquidity, right, which is what the market moves to. Where's the liquidity? So when they can't get that, that sets the whole thing up because you know that they were there. Everybody knows they're there. Everybody. Now, there's some there too. Right, so when they're going here, these are obvious targets. Can't get them, right? Weakness. Now, one thing about trading and analysis, right? And we all deal with this. It's fucking drop dead. We're all gazillionaires after the fact, right? So easy after the fact. But that's just the reality of trading. Is that there is no certainty. There are only probabilities. So after this move happens, does it start again? Probably. Would you have known, right? So I draw it up here and you go, well, fuck, man, how would you know to buy that? Well, you wouldn't necessarily. You wouldn't. Okay, well, so what you're telling me is that I don't know until after the fact. Well, you're going to have to take some calculated risks. So part of it is, okay, do I want to be long Link? What kind of time horizon am I trading? Do I want to accumulate here? Because it sure looks like that's what's happening here. Even though these are big swings, we go down to a 4-hour. Those are big fucking swings. Do I want to be accumulating in here? And if I want to be accumulating because I think crypto is going to go and we're going to have, maybe it takes another 5 years to get mainstream. I don't know. I know it's, not everybody's going to survive, right? God damn, what do we have? I don't even know. James probably knows the number. 16,000. Is it 16,000 cryptocurrencies? Are all 16,000 going to survive? Probably not. Is Link one of the ones that's going to survive? Well, I don't know that I would bet against them. So you got to look here and say, okay, well, this just seems like a reason, because if you put it in context, right? Now, if I look at it, I go, well, that seems like a reasonable spot to be accumulating. Is there any question about where the stops are? Anybody having trouble figuring out where the stops are? Right? Probably not. Right? So just like they're all up here, right? This is just a clear consolidation. Oh shit, there's probably Wyckoff in here as well. Although I'm no Wyckoff expert, but that's what you have to be. Right? That's the trade-off, right? So there's flaws in every theory. Much like Elliott Wave, right? People say, oh, it's so fucking subjective. It's great after the fact. Same thing with here. Is this accumulation or distribution? Well, here we can look at this and say, just the basic raw Elliott concept, 5 up, 3 down. Do I have 5 up? Yeah, I got 5 up. Do I have 3 down? Yeah, I got 3 down. What am I calling this? Does it even really matter? I don't know that it matters, right? Here's all I see is that there's 3. I got 5, I got 3, and now I got sideways. So if you're a Link fan, a Link bull, because you kind of got to like the story. You got to like why the fuck am I buying Link rather than, there's some technical pattern here I want to trade. Do I want to accumulate to hold for this? Because the implication here, if this is 5 followed by 3 followed by sideways, the minimum implication is we're going up to these upper levels. If it's going to play Elliott ball and we're going to have, if this is, I don't know if I've got the full history here. I probably don't. here on Binance. I don't know where I'd have full history, but from this low down here at 32 cents to $51, I mean, this would be a reasonable place to start accumulating. So you wouldn't necessarily put your mortgage money in there, but to be accumulating an asset that you think has long-term potential, that's not a bad spot, right? Again, take it out of log. Not a bad spot to be accumulating. You could do it this way. Okay, where's the low end of the range here? Do I want to accumulate down here? Well, if it's going to go, you're pretty well positioned. I mean, you can almost just keep it drop dead simple, and you take the Elliott out of it and say, okay, oh shit, we're down in the lower range here. This was where our first this was resistance. Now it's coming down to support. Okay, accumulate down here. Again, I don't know if there's any in this particular chart. Now I'm not going to do this on every chart, but here's 5, 3, 5. It's like, shit, can you get this done? I should have. We tried here. But see, once I see this, I go, okay, I'm not even going to try to count that. What's the point? There's no point in trying to count that. Unless maybe you're a scalper or you're down on a 1 hour here. Is there something here that would, let me get that off of there. Oh, geez, here I am taking way too long. This is what happens to me. I take too long. I get on a rant and then I can't get to the other stuff here, right? But this is kind of a good example here. Now, so one thing that we've been focusing a lot on this over, because you guys know I do a lot of day trading over in the S&P, and this is, Al Brooks made this, popularized this phenomenon in the market, right? That when we have an uptrend like this, when we have trend line breaks, when we get a break of a channel, the expectation is that if we were to break here, it's going to come back here, because this is often where retail will sell it. Oh, broke a trend line, got to sell it. Broke a trend line, got to buy it. But careful of that, right? And that can guide you on the right side of the market. So if we start to now dig in here a little bit more, I'd use the lower pivot. All right. So, okay, was there a trade here? Sure. But after the fact, right? It's easy after the fact. So if you're looking here, would you have been a little uncomfortable here? Maybe, right? You didn't. It's not like you came off of the golden zone and you got a big bang in 1, 2, 3, right? You didn't get that. But tradable, absolutely. So here I'm on a fucking rant. If possible, something. He didn't give me a chart, right? So here I am riffing off without a chart from a member. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. A little. That's they're so easy after the fact, right? Liquidity grab here at the POC, up, higher low at the. I've just been using this to save chart real estate. The goal, it's very close. Shit, I don't even know if I have it on here. Yeah, I do. Right, so it's almost identical to the Vegas wave. That's why I use it, just to clear up the chart a little bit. So there, it's the. I repeat myself. I know we have new people here. This is the average of the 200 EMA and the 200 SMA. They call it the God MA, or whoever came up with that name. So right to it. So here, up above it, back to it. Up above it, back to it. Right. So we're establishing the uptrend. Doesn't look like an uptrend on the daily, though, it doesn't. Right. It just looks like consolidation. I mean, there's that channel. Shit, I can't even draw here. There's that channel we just looked at. So is there trading here? Yeah. Do I need Elliott wave here? So the question is always, is it helping? Is it helping? Well, here, this sure looks like a 3, right? My view is keep it simple. When in doubt, simplify. You get that? That looks like a 3. That looks like a 5. This is complex, right? So you'd probably have to do. Oh, well, it's correct. It looks like it's going to be corrective. We can't quite tell that yet. Let's just see what we got here. 1, 2 doesn't look like an impulse. Looks like 1, 2. You might be able to get an A, B, C. Again, don't get so overly caught in the fuck, man. I can't get the count here, so I can't trade it, right? I wouldn't get. It's sharp double, maybe. A, B, C, X, A, B, C, right? You're trying to, what I look at is how did it finish, right? Here, consolidation, and we finish, right? So really it's finishing as a 3. So I'd be inclined to think sharp double there. I don't know if it's really helping you much. Where is the help? Right here. Right, here's the correction. I don't get a new low. Is there any question in anybody's mind that there were stops down there? They can't get them. They got these. They got those. Got them. Right? Any question where the stops are? Right up here. Right? Can they go get them? Right? If they can't, again, path of least resistance. Oh, there's going to be liquidity up here. Can we go get that? That's why I just rail on this all the time, over and over again. You do not. Let me rephrase. Hang on. Buying breakouts is such a sucker move. Yes, some are going to go. Yes, some are going to go. Of course, right? Thankfully, because it means retail will continue to do it. You need these to go so that the inexperienced will continue to buy breakouts, right? And I'm not saying they're not successful breakout traders. I'm just telling you that it's not that that's not potential there. It's just it's a high risk place to enter the market because you're so vulnerable to the manipulation. If there's a pivot, you always want to be going into the pivot from below or above. You don't want to buy the breakout. You want to wait, right? I mean, Bitcoin you wouldn't believe the shit I got from last week. You want this. I want to test it. Wait a minute. Are they going to defend here? That one I'll take. Meaning that there are going to be trades that just fly away from you and you're going to feel like, motherfucker, why didn't I just buy the breakout? Over time, that will come back to haunt you. I've been doing this for so fucking long. I just promise you that. Listen, if this was a more profitable way to trade the market, that's all I would teach you. Just buy every breakout you see. It's not the way to trade the market for a long-term career as a trader, right? You want to look for them, let them go. That's the thing. You got to let it go. And you got to be patient and wait for the retrace because it could take a long time, but eventually the retrace comes. It always does. There is no market that has never retraced. It doesn't exist. They come, fear and greed, right? Oh shit. Oh, let's go. Greed. Oh, fuck, it's coming down. Fear. It's what causes all right. There's no magic to Elliott wave. It's just human emotion. That's what creates the patterns. All right. I don't know. Shit. I'm going way too long on Link here. Let me. I'm out of practice here. I got to tighten up. Okay, so that's about all I can say on Link. Other than this would be a great place if you've got a long-term bullish bias on the market to be accumulating, but not off of the 2 hour. I'd be out at the daily saying, okay, well if this is going to come back here, so any sort of retrace back into Jesus, I can't get them hot into this zone here would be interesting to me. And I wouldn't see. This is the kind of trade I'd make for long-term holdings. If I'm trading off of something like a 4 hour here, I'm not putting a stop on it. It's like this would not be money that I need. I'm just going to accumulate in this range. If I can accumulate, so the other way you might think of it is say, okay, if I can accumulate in the discount zone, I'm in. Because right now, what's happening, right? You sell the top, you buy the bottom. Sell the top, you buy the bottom. Right? I mean, again, hindsight, I know. So how do we make sense of that? How can we do something productive here? Well, if it's in the discount zone, I'm interested in being a buyer. I would not use leverage. And I personally, if it was Link, I wouldn't put a stop on it. I'd just start accumulating. If it comes down here, I'm accumulating a little bit more. Here's $4. We've been as high as 50. If it comes, right, I might even average down. If we start coming down here, I might average down a little bit because I'm a long-term bull. I'm not saying I'm a long-term bull of Link, but if I'm looking at Link, I want to buy down here in these lower ranges here. If I can buy under the POC, great. All right, I got to move because I'm out of practice here and we're taking way too long. Okay, so next one up I've got is ADA, which I thought I had. Fuck, I don't. I really did. Okay, so let's take a peek over at Bitcoin. Is this what you meant? The pump today? Well, here, we'll take a quick peek at this. There's a possibility this is our 4, and we've got more to go here. Because this was kind of a sloppy finish, right? I was kind of struggling with this yesterday. And PKS Avenda, who, this out of the bag here, is going to be joining us as a sensei next month. He and I are kind of back and forth on this. Now, you guys know he's a level 3 certified Elliotician through EWI, so he's got some serious Elliott chops. And it didn't look like you had a good finish here. How would you count this? Well, it looked like a 3, right? So you might be thinking, oh, expanded B, we're coming down for the C. Because I can finish here. This kind of looked like a triangle, but it didn't. You didn't have a good, well, that's the finish. Well, the top is in. You didn't have a good, well, fuck, what did we do today? It's not a bad pump. 7%, $2,000. 26 and change to 28. That wasn't a great looking finish, but you did have, remember the indicators are just kind of clues, right? Because they all indicators lag, right? So it's okay, it's a clue. There was a little bit of a, going into the Fed, you see the volume was dropping. We were kind of hot here, but the momentum is still very positive, right? So this is a series of Gann high lows all on fib numbers, right? Is there any question about what side of the market to be on? But what you're looking for is the retrace here. So would you have known here? Well, probably not. It's a toughie. What did we hit there? We hit this prior pivot, right? Prior structure, right? It was resistance. Got through. Well, there's a good example right there. Just what I was talking about. Do you want to buy this? Well, a lot of people wanted to, or did, or were. Geez, I got some nasty hate comments from people on my saying, careful about buying that, right? And so as you come back to the retrace here, you come back to the structure, okay, maybe still, right? Would you have known? You'd have to be on top of it. When did we do that? What time of day? Where's all my shit here? Midnight? Or is that today? No, that was midnight. Okay, so would you have been up? Well, some of you may have been to catch that, to buy that. So does this look like we're done here? The whole shape of it is a little funky. Looks like I can get a pretty clean 1 here. 2. I don't know that I want to call that my 3, but as it sits right now, you'd have a clear invalidation point. Well, so here's an example where the L8 is helpful. 1, 2. Okay, if that's my 3 and this is my 4, well, no, right. What might have you lean in a little bit more to it? All right, we didn't overlap. All right, so maybe that's the 4. Maybe, right? So that's just a little bit. Again, they're clues. It's just a clue. Oh, fuck, we didn't overlap the 1. Interesting. Maybe I got to put it over here. It doesn't. I think it's here. Shit, here I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing today. That looked right. A, B, C to the 4. Well, I would have said no if we'd overlapped the 1, but since we don't, that's a contender. But we can be very clear about where that invalidates, right? So if that's the 3 and if that's the 4, well, here's where we invalidate, right at that demand zone, or supply zone. Because then 3, right? This is just guidelines of LA wave, right? 3 would be the shortest. We know that's not probable. As an LAtician, it's not possible, right? You're gonna move the 3, right? It's just period. You're just gonna do it. If we get here to 30,500, right? Then, but all of this is we're looking for the next leg. The thing, oh shit, here I'm all over the place. The thing we're trying to absolutely put to bed is that we could have a C here. This is what we're trying to. Shit, I'm doing tomorrow's video today. This is what we're trying to get completely off the board, right? So it's no longer a real threat. Is that we're doing some sort of a C because there's a clear 5 that comes down here. And this is still that's not the finish that you'd think is going to launch the next bull move. Now you look at it and you think, oh well, fuck, with all the bond issues here, oh that makes more sense because that was a pretty sharp correction. But to start the next bull off of that, that's makes me a little uneasy. So the contender here that we're trying to eliminate is that this isn't an A, that this isn't some sort of a BC, right? That this isn't a 3. Oh fuck, here B. That this isn't that, right? That we have some sort of a flat coming down before we head lower. We're trying to take that off the board, and this has to get a little higher before we can really say with certainty and conviction, okay, fuck, the low is in, and we're not quite there. I mean, we all kind of want that to be, right? But you can't turn a blind eye to it. We got to get, what's happening here? Fuck, I got an Amber alert. Okay, so where would I really start to lean hard into the bull side here? Let's break that fucking golden zone right there. From the last major swing high, then we know it's game on. So 1, 2, 1. Right, you got to get a 3 has to show up here. So right now we got 1, 2, 1. Maybe we're going for a 1 here. I need a big we bulls, right? We need a 1, 2, 1. Now it's going to come down here, and that's the question is going to be, oh, is that what's happening, right? Is that now we're going down for is this just a big C and now we're going down? We need that, right? Where you really lean in and now you're just buying both hands. We can't quite do that yet. You can't eliminate this yet. Sadly, much as I'm dying to. Now we can you gotta be careful, right? Because you can talk yourself into it. Oh, secondary pivot, we just pinged the 50, right? At a demand zone. Oh, wait a minute. But if I go down another pivot, now I still got the golden zone here right in the supply zone. If I come down another pivot, oh, we broke. Right? So good news, but you got to go back one and you got to go back another one because that's what the algo is going to do. Right? So where are we clear? Right? Up here. That's pushing 40,000. You don't have a great geometry here either. Right? Because the angle's too sharp. It's too flat to get a good, even here still, okay, you're on the edge. Right? You want something, we didn't get that. So you don't have a great set of median lines to work with, so you're working with channels. That's what I see here. This also has kind of a Wyckofian setup here. Let's get that off. I mean, again, you just kind of draw this out and go, okay, right? Is this the spring, right? Before the punch, right? To run all the stops that were sitting down here, and everybody on the planet knew where the stops were. This is what gives you conviction, right? They couldn't get them, right? Every stop of every bull is right there, and they can't go get them, right? And then that comes, and then we get the bank stuff, and now it's like, oh my God, how it's so obvious, but of course, right? Why didn't you buy that? Well, what kind of trader are you? Are you trading off of the 15-minute? Okay, well, maybe you caught some of this. Maybe you took that break. Oh, shit, look at this. Maybe you took this breakout. Oh, look. Oh, we're to the moon, right? What happens? It comes right back to where it launched from. Oh, we're going to the moon. What happens? Oh, it comes right back, right to where it launched from. Right? That's why you don't do that. I'm trying to help. I'm not trying to. Here's one thing I can promise you I'm not trying to do. Talk you out of good trades. I'm trying to counsel you into looking for the highest probability locations to enter. Is this our 1? Is this 1, 2, 1? Well, anybody absolutely certain of that? I'm going to guess no. I'm not certain of it. All the ingredients are there. Yesterday, okay, so we sold off in sympathy with the market, but we didn't crater. And what's the market doing today? Fuck, the NQ is up. Well, it was up 300. It's at 286 now. So reclaiming it all, right? Again, did we have a change in interest rate policy? Oh my God. Okay, I'm totally fucking up here. Okay, let's go back to Cardano. So let's go to. Geez, I thought I had it. Here it is. Okay, no, I had it. Okay, all right, back on track. Rants are over. Let's focus. Okay, so I've got, this is Razor giving me, he's got a WXYXZ. That looks like a 5-3. That looks more like a 3. You probably squeeze it in here. I might simplify it, right? You might be overcomplicating that. When in doubt, simplify. Excuse me. When in doubt, if I can simplify it, I want to, right? Much as I love the complexity and the puzzle solving of Elliott, I want to simplify it where I can, right? There's a bit of a academic challenge, right? Can you get every little squiggle of it nailed down? I mean, some people love that, right? They love the challenge of it. I'm just trying to look for good locations. This is the sonar ladder. I don't know if any of you guys use it, but they continually update and keep adding really nice features. So that's the last swing structure. That's the volume profile for the swing structure there, which is useful because if you put the volume profile on in log scale, it distorts it so much it's really not much use. Okay, so do we have well, so I would look at this here. Okay, that's where we launch from. I don't really care what that count is. Is that a man, shit? Is that a 1-2? Is that a 1-2-3-4-5? Fuck, it might be. That's one hell of a leading diag if it is. But okay, I got a bull trend. I got a retrace, and I'm in the pocket. I'm in the pocket here. Does it matter if it's W, X, Y, X, Z? Probably not. This isn't a great looking 3. That's my first thought is here. I got a 1, 2, 3. That looks like triangle. This looks like an A, B, but I don't get a great 5 here. I suppose you could squish it in. I don't know that it matters, right? This is corrective. This is the correction of the correction. And then this is the finish. So I got essentially broad strokes. I've got a 3, but I'm also still diving lower. Okay, better. Now, is that enough to take as a trade? Well, you're kind of in that same category as Link. Well, if you're a Cardano bull, well, this wouldn't be a bad place to be accumulating. If you're trying to time it, what is it you're trying to do? I'm on a daily here. Well, so first, right? So first thing you want to do, right? You pull up any chart. Okay, where's Waldo? Oh, let's pull it out here a little bit. Where's the algo? What did it do last? Right. So I'm in log. Let's come out of logs here. Let's see here. No, I'm going to have to stay in logs. Too big. We're not pinging golden zones here. We can see the resistance at the 50. Well, again, we're in the pocket there. Okay, so that would have been a nice short, right? Because we've got here's the 5. Let's call it that way. Here's the start of the correction. We're not breaking through the golden zone off of a secondary pivot here. It's a 38. Probably a decent spot for a short there. Let's look below, right? Do it this way. So we're right here. It's not screaming overdone there. Maybe an after the fact kind of trade. But is there enough here to say, oh, time to be a buyer? Well, there's a start on it. Let's go to a 4-hour. Okay, so this is again high-low. It's just kind of what side do I want to be on? Okay, so we've broken across that. 1, 2. It looks like you got a good finish there. So we always wanted to look for a 5 to finish, right? If we can find it. This looks pretty easy to spot. Razor didn't give me. He may be one of our free members or a new member, right? So I'm always looking to get a chart I can work with. So there's a 5 to finish. Whoa, that looks like I've got a good start here on a maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get that up. I can see. This is not complicated, right? So all right. So I got a big low volume node there. You see, so it's an imbalance because we went down so fast. So there's no support here. That doesn't mean though when we get there that you want to. Damn it, I'm rusty. You don't want to just buy it on the assumption it's going to clear. If anything, as we get to the edge of it, I'd expect a reaction, right, off of that. And low, it's an imbalance, right? So don't assume it's going to go through. If it gets through, okay, good, and then we run into high volume node. But I'd be looking for that. If I'm sitting here and I'm bringing up Cardano and I'm not in it and I'm just looking at it, okay, well, I got a 5 that finishes. I got a 1, 2, 3, 4 that looks pretty technical. All right. Oh, shit. 2 is a little sloppy, but what do we do there? 38, 1, 2. Well, so you're hoping that's 1, 2 of 3, 4, 5 of the 5. So you could either buy it. Trend is clearly higher. No squeeze. We're good. You'd be anticipating there's one more leg up here. This one uses 70, not 68, which I prefer. All green down here, right? So we're all green. Right? Everything's in alignment to be a buyer there. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh yeah, this is it. I thought I had Cardano to the dollar. This is Cardano to Bitcoin, right? So if this is going to go, so it's got to outpace Bitcoin, right? Is it going to do that? Right? Is it going to climb higher than Bitcoin? Maybe. Right? Bold, right? What's the point of trading alts, right? To accumulate more Bitcoin, I would tell you. So if you're in Cardano on a long here, let's go to a 1. So here, okay, is this helping? A, B, it's not the cleanest looking 4. Let's get you out of there. So kind of interesting what you see. So here's the last supply zone. We came right up to the edge of it, right? So SMC traders loving that. Into consolidation. Now we created a demand zone here, right? So money had to be committed here to drive it out of that, right to the God EMA. Here's the break, long. I just look at this and say, okay, well, we know what the trend is. So here's just the consolidation of the correction, high volume, all of this right here. Again, I know it's easy after the fact. So what do you want to do here? Well, right, you've got a supply zone there. If this is 1 and we're coming down for 2, no reason not to be a buyer there, right? Stop. Decide on your risk tolerance. The farthest I'd allow for is that, right? Because the assumption is that's the 4, we're going for the 5. How much do you want to give that? I don't know that I'd give that anything below that demand zone. If it was going to break the golden zone, I'd expect it to stall here and kind of look left and go, okay, that seems reasonable. I'd prefer to not see it go down that far. I'd be just looking for a good, okay, signal bar. Look in there. That's a pretty aggressive selling bar. Do you want to buy into that? Right into, there's a fair value gap there as well. That would make me a little nervous, right? Look, right, imbalance, right? No trading happens there. So it's an imbalance. So we come up to it, rejection. Imbalance, rejection. But you could make the same statement here. You've already mitigated it. Here, Jesus, I'm rusty. Come here. Okay, you had a fair value gap right here. Right, so this came in and tapped into it. Now enough to get out of it. Get out of there. You'd want to see that. At least get on the right color, right? So we're just neutral here. At least get the RSI climbing across the midline, right? Midline's like a 50. I would tell you midline's more important than the 70 and the 30. So I want to get on the other side of that. But that's not really, so you'd have to go down. That's at a 60, and you got a big selling candle here, right? That's yesterday. Oh, probably yesterday. Let's go. See, the lower you go, the less accurate. My view, right? My opinion. Some would disagree with me. Can I get this done here? Does it look like it's done? Well, it looks like I got a 1, 2, 3. You'd hope that that's a B and not the 5th, right? It doesn't look like you had enough to finish there. A, B, okay. That's what you're gunning for. It's not a great looking channel, but I have 3 pivots, right? You want three to confirm the channel, starting with your beginning of the channel. There's 1. Right, 1, 2, 3 pivots, right? The implication is we're going up to break this high, right, where we double topped. Viable. But I might like to see that come up a little bit more. You got a big selling pressure here. I'd like to see come up here and threaten, at least get into this structure and then the next, right? Because if it's going to go 5, right, that's what we're looking for to get up there. And then I'd use some targets. Right? So when the 1, 2 is that tiny, I'll go 1 through 3. All right, can we get that high? We'll be right in the supply zone. But what it would do is confirm the move off the low, right, off of this 5. Now we're confirming. This one had a shitty 2 as well, just like this one did. It's baby little 2, right? I like a bigger one too, but one that's all you got to work with. So we're on a 30 minutes, so you're kind of stuck with it. I'd be buying, not selling. Remember, this is Cardano to Bitcoin, though. Choose wisely. Okay, I got to keep moving. Okay, Wonka. All right. OPUSD. Oh, whoa. You didn't. Oh, you did give me a chart. Okay, let me see. Let me see if I can use your chart. Okay. Oh, I got. Oh, you get here. I gotta make a copy. Jeez, I am rusty. Whoa, giving me his OPUSDT. Is that Elon Musk with a rocket or a banana? Looks like a rocket. Okay. Whoa, this is nice looking work. I'm always curious when people change the color palette. That's actually quite good. So we've got an RSI, a MACD, and an Elliott oscillator. Good trio here, right? That's what I would recommend for an Elliott count. 1, 2, 1. Oh, we've been studying. Okay, good. That's really nice. Very nice work here. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That's a little skinny, but it works. 4. So what's so weird? I see on the right side that there's the lag. It's probably better that I don't see that. Kind of makes it weird for me. Okay, let's get you out here. Okay, what again? That's a good looking location. So since knowing we don't get certainty in the market, we just get probabilities. Why would you not buy that? I mean, everything is right there. Right? What's the last thing to put on is an LA channel. Oh, well, this one's pretty steep here, but I might do something like this. A little overshoot here. Clear targets. You're not really playing off of the. Right, the assumption is we completed here, so this is the 2 you're working with. So where's the high probability allocation for a 4 between the 23 and the 38? Right on the pocket. You came into this little structure here, right? So just a little consolidation here. That's likely an order block, right? Probably an order block, last down before the up, right? So here's a little demand zone. We came back, tag it. Okay, there's the reaction. Well, if it's a 2, it looks like he's already in. Or if you're looking down here, well, here's the buy zone right here. No reason not to, right? Stop under the pivot. Now there's a trade as opposed to an accumulation. I'm on a 24-hour. Interesting. Let me go to a smaller. Right. That's always encouraging when you see the L8 oscillator crossover. I have RSI, right? Remember, and I will tell you this. Right, the 50 is way more important than the uppers. Right, we can stay up here, right? But what happens at the 50? So really, we're sideways here. Loss of momentum.